Get karma for Wood kids not liking me because of their mammies. I'm not gonna get karma for that. I don't give a fuck how none of you hoes feel about it. Some of you hoes, baby daddy wives and girlfriends don't fuck with your kids because of you. Your baby daddy don't come fuck with them kids because of you, bitch. You're a bitter bitch, and I don't give a fuck. Screen record this. Put it on a t-shirt. Put it on YouTube, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Ho, you the problem. Then y'all like to manipulate them kids and be telling them kids, your daddy ain't doing this because of her. No, your daddy not doing this, bitch, because of me. He buy you a pair of shoes. I be selling them cheap-ass shoes. I get mad. He pay your child support. I be like, that little bit-ass child support, what the fuck is $300 when your rent only $150, bitch? You the problem, ho. You. I know reality. So when I talk like this, they like to get mad. They like to get mad and they be like, oh, I hate Peach McIntyre. Them kids, nah, fuck them kids. But his kids are grown now anyways. You're a grown adult. Now that you're grown, and I'm talking about your grandmammy and how she fucked your daddy up. Because she did. His daddy and his mama fucked him up. Your daddy and your grandma fucked my motherfucking husband up, bitch. And I'm over here trying to fix it. Right? And them motherfuckers don't like me. And I want to talk about it. How he grew up seeing a dirt. And I was already pregnant with your baby because I didn't know I'm supposed to meet family. My mama didn't try to meet your mama. She just met you. I wish my mama would have met my son one day. I need to meet the mama. Let them know. I need to meet the mom. I need to meet the dad. I got to see what they come from. I got to see if we want to handle this. Because when you get with people, you're inheriting all of their trauma. And his parents should have did the same thing. I need to see where she comes from. If you give a fuck about your kids, see who they're dating, where they come from. What has happened to them? Because you're about to inherit all of that shit when they fuck with each other. You're going to inherit her insecurities, her abandonment issues, her suicidal thoughts. You're going to inherit all of those things. I hope y'all know that. As parents, when your children are dating, you need to meet. I didn't know this. My mama didn't do that. She met Wood. She didn't meet his family. I didn't know his family. I didn't even know where the boy stayed, and I done hunched him in his car. You know? So I don't want that for my children. I'm learning from that, and I'm trying to make sure. That's why I'm telling Gregory McKay, if they can't let you meet their parents, that means the parent might be racist, the parents might be fucked up, the parents might not want them to date. You don't need. We got to meet them. We got to make sure we want where they come from. And yes, you can be different from where you come from. However, even though you can be different from where you come from, that trauma still follow you and creep up, and you got to be very intentional. I need to see where they come from, and you need to see where they come from too, son. So that's what I'm teaching my oldest son, but I'm going to teach that to all of my children. And I pray moving forward that will become the standard in my family. How Wood have other children with you since he was 16? So Wood is 2 years older than me. I was 16, Wood was 18. We were in high school together. So I met Wood in high school, but he was 2 years older than me. Wood had his first baby. The nigga just was here on the other live. He couldn't even tell us when the little girl was born because he don't know. He was hunching young. That's sad. I always tell him that. Like, you just was giving your body away. You didn't even know your body was sacred. But where they come from, they thought that was normal. Everybody hunching. I knew that wasn't normal. I sat under my great-grandma. My great-grandma raised me. She taught me about life, about people. My cousin Cup used to make me sit back and analyze people. He'll say, come here, Peaches. Look. This one fucking this one. This one right here. Look at that. They stole it. Like, just sit back and analyze people. So I'm one of those people. I would be quiet in the room, and I would literally be taking a look at everybody in the room. I've been doing that since I was a kid, and I have insight. My grandma didn't hide who was the rapist in the family, who was the crook, who was the one that's hiding behind God. My great-grandma let me know, this is who this person is. You can go experience them for yourself, but I want you to go over there prepared. This is who it is. I hate how y'all be trying to act like y'all kids' daddy just good daddies, and you know, these daddies ain't shit, and they bad people. And you sending your kids to bad people because that's their dad. Like, even my grandma say my mama daddy used to drag her off the bus and rape her. But then she sent her daughter to him because that's her daddy. Like, stuff like that, I can't wrap my mind around it. And when I have those kind of conversations with them, they be acting like I'm the crazy one. So even when it come to my daddy, me and McKay talked about all this stuff this morning. We was talking about my sisterhood class last night, and I was telling him about some of the teenage issues and telling him he should come to the next one. Maybe we could do a co-parent, like a parent and child one, and get more insight on what he'd be willing, and how does he feel about this, and did I make this decision in hindsight, what about this? So we have these kind of conversations. We reflect. I talk too much. That's fine. Listen, I'm going to say this again. The person who did the thing that was wrong carries the shame, not you. Some of y'all are rape victims. Go ahead and screen record this. Y'all finna get mad. Some of you guys have been violated. You've been raped. You've been molested. And you're walking around carrying shame. So when I bring up these stories, that help make me who I am, because these people was hurt. They was broken, and they passed that on for generations. And I had to carry that, and I had to pay the price for it. So it's still my story to tell, because who they were made me who I am. Their life experiences made my life experiences. What they went through caused me to be treated this way, you know? So when I talk about it, it all makes sense to me. So I'm going to continue to reflect on it. For those of you who get offended because you have been raped and molested, and when I talk, it's not your story to tell. It is. Rape and molestation is disgusting. It destroys generations, not just you. It happened to you, but the way you parent your kids is affected by what happened to you and how it was handled. Some of y'all continue to turn a blind eye because it's just life. My daddy did it to me. Her daddy gonna do it to her. And then when she had kids, her kids' daddy gonna do it to them. Like, it's just normal. It's life. And it's not normal. Stop carrying around shame. The person who did it shall be shamed. The person who did it shall be banished. But no, y'all let them come to the barbecues, the birthday parties, the baby showers. Y'all still accept them. Y'all go sit with them and y'all say, oh, because God said forgive. We family. Not me. I don't take money from the rapist. I don't visit the rapist. When the rapist is on the deathbed, I say, pull the plug. What is you doing? Pull the plug. And I don't say, oh, just do the right thing. Because whole time you hate him. Stop carrying around shame. The shame is in the person that did it. And I teach my kids that anything that I do, y'all be like, oh, she's embarrassing her kids. No, the fuck I'm not. My kids don't carry my shame. I carry my shame. And guess what? I'm not ashamed of anything that I've been through. I talk about it openly because I have learned from it and I've grew from it. And it's going to make sense to my kids when they go to reflecting and they want to know why. If they're like the smart kind of humans. If they might be a little autistic and stuff like that, they're going to want to know why. Those who are intentional and they're trying to change their children's life, they don't want their children to have what they had. They want better. They're going to say why, how. But those who feel like it's just life. My husband feel that way. My husband, mama, and daddy was married. His daddy ain't come to shit. We talked about this last night in my mindset class. Wood daddy ain't come to shit. Now, Wood mama and daddy just got divorced this year. He married his other baby mama who he had 3 kids with. While married to his mom, he done cheated on her and had outside babies with this lady. 3 outside kids, right? So he married this lady this year. He finally divorced. This not telling people business. This is my business. It's my business. It affects me, my children, my family. It's affecting my husband, which is affecting us, right? So he marries this other lady. And when he marries her, the lady he been creeping with all these years, and his mama done accepted them children and everything. He marries her. She acting like she okay with this. They been broken up. They just was still legally married. It's okay. Well, one day recent was Grandparents' Day. Anybody remember when it was Grandparents' Day? Anybody? It was recently Grandparents' Day. Do y'all remember that? Yes, in September. Okay, I just want to make sure you remember. So it was Grandparents' Day, and me and my husband were back at home, and my husband grabbed his phone, and when he opened up Facebook, he saw his dad at Grandparents' Day with his grandchildren from his siblings from the lady that his daddy just married. So his daddy new wife, who already got 3 grown kids from his daddy, him and his mama had, his daddy new wife and his mama had a baby on the same exact day in the same exact hospital 30-something years ago. He's married to that lady. Would open up his phone and he see his daddy at Grandparents' Day with those siblings' kids. And my husband said, what the fuck? This nigga ain't never go to shit I had. What the fuck? He ain't never come to nothing with us. He really had fucking grandparents. What the fuck? I said, Wood, the reaction that you having, that's called a traumatic experience, a traumatic response. That's called trauma. You understand this? He was like, what? This what trauma feel like? I say, yes, you're being triggered. That just bothered you. You didn't have a daddy experience. Even though your daddy lived in the house with y'all, even though your daddy was married to your mama, he didn't go on vacations with y'all. He didn't show up to school events. He was an absent father. And so you think you're being better to our children because you show up. But when you show up, you're not present. Or when you show up, you're not consistent. In order for you to show up, I got to cuss, fuss, yell, make a scene. But that's because that was your normal. You see, it's not normal. I say, how many grandparents events have you invited your dad to? That nigga don't go to nothing. He ain't want to go to his own daddy funeral. He had fucking grandparents day. Like, he had a whole little experience. And that's what I'm saying. Like, some of y'all don't even know that it's trauma. And for those of you who keep thinking, this not your place to tell, you telling her business. I'm not telling this lady business. I'm telling our business, because her accepting this man continuously cheating on her, this man continuously fathering outside children. Him and my husband got a baby the same age. My husband's son is 18. Your daddy got a baby that's 18. Why he married with your mama, living in the house with your mama, after he done had them other 3 motherfuckers, not calling his sisters and his brothers motherfuckers, to call them motherfuckers. I'm just cussing because I cuss. That has all affected my husband, and it affects me because I'm with this man and he don't understand what you're doing is hurting me. And it took for me to realize, oh, you don't realize this because you think it's normal. This not normal. I do see my wrongs. That's why I'm trying to make my husband understand this, right? If I want to be with my husband, and I want my marriage to work, my husband has to go back and do the trauma work as well. He has to go back to his childhood and realize, this is why I thought this was acceptable. Oh, it's not. I don't give a fuck about his mama, them. They grown. I don't give a fuck about them. But the way they parented him affected him. How y'all want to say, oh, my siblings exposed my husband slow. Oh, he's slow. His ass retarded. He's slow. And I said, yes, he was in a 600 hallway. My husband is not dumb. Y'all think that's funny and y'all laughing like, he's slow, he's slow. My husband is not dumb. His parents dropped the ball. Your mama always at work. Your daddy always fucking. And they just abandoning their kids. Everything is happening in your life and your parents are absent. My husband is not slow. He can still read. He can read. You might not read as fast as me. But bitch, that's all I did. I read to escape my reality. You're not slow and you're still capable. You're never too old to learn. I don't give a fuck what a bitch say about you. I love you still. Like, that's how much I love him. He can read. He can read. He can do math. This morning made me so happy. This morning, and that's why I'm going to continue to do this. This morning, I had to go take the babies. I was like, Wood, I'm running behind. I got to take the babies. I need you to help Mcintyre with his homework. He only got a couple pages left. And my husband really went and helped Mcintyre. Like, I came back in the house to get something out of the microwave. They was sitting at the table, and he was helping Mcintyre with his homework. For the first time ever, I helped with homework. We used to help Gregory and McKay, both of us, but life happened. But with Mcintyre, they got a different version of us as parents. My kids, they're getting the sober side of their dad. I'm seeing my husband become more confident. I'm seeing him smile again. I'm seeing him start to dream a little bit, not as much as he needs to. So I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And it's stemming back to seeing those things. Like, you know, you didn't have that, but imagine how that feel. He thinking that's just life. Like, a nigga ain't got to show up. At least I do come. At least I'm here. No, bitch, I need you to be here, you know? So I'm willing to do the work. I'm willing to put up the fight as long as my husband is willing to do the same. And when he don't, I might tell you about it. I might come on the internet crying about it, or I might not. He's smiling again, look deeper. It's always another woman. It's not another woman. It's not another woman. It's him. And if it is another woman, let's say I'm crazy, I'm delusional, it is another woman. Guess what? If it's another woman and he leaves me for her and he finds his purpose in the process, I'm okay with that. I pray all the time. I say, God, in this chapter of my life, Please help my husband find his purpose. And if I'm not a part of the purpose, the next version of his life, I am absolutely okay with it. So God, please help make me okay with it. I love him that much. I love him that much. I want him to feel like a whole human, because when I wake up now, I'm starting to feel whole. When I just was up here breaking people, getting vengeance, it felt good. I got what I needed out of that. It was evil and it was ugly, but it was necessary for Peaches to get the missing parts of her fix. I got to hear what I needed to hear. I got to feel what I needed to feel. And I feel whole. I feel good. I feel happy. And now I'm seeing my husband do his inner work. He still ain't drank in 4 months. Evil is never necessary. For me, it was. For me, it was. And is it even evil? Have we been manipulated to feel like it was evil? Is it really evil to tell the truth? To let them know my daddy, and my daddy told me this from his own lips. He was never, my daddy told me from his own lips. I talked to him for hours. I'm a deep person, a deep thinker, and I need to know why. I don't sit up here. Even my husband daddy, I talk to my husband dad. I know things about my husband's dad that my husband don't know, because he don't ask why. I ask why. Well, why you feel that way? Why you think about this? What do you think about this? Is how I know everybody. What's the mindset? What do you tell yourself in order to keep going? What do you tell yourself? Look into the eyes. Look into them. Right? Evil, and she did it for money. I make money regardless. I'm always going to make the money. I've been making my own money since I was 6. I'm always going to make the money. But this affects me. The reason why your baby daddy ain't fucking with your kids is most likely because his daddy didn't fuck with him. He think that shit normal. His friends won't call him out on it and say, you should be a better dad, because they ain't fucking with their kids either. It's normal. Who gonna step up and say, hey, you need to do this about your kids? Who gonna say, oh, you need to treat this woman like this? If every person that is around your baby daddy or your husband is a cheater, that means it's accepted. Who's going to be the man of men and say, hey, we don't do that around here? Who's going to set a new standard? Who going to be the person that say, when the projects, even though it's nice and the rent is affordable and your apartment is nice and you're able to get your hair done and your nails done and you able to have a car and your credit score good and you got food stamps and your house full of food and your kids got all the electronics they want? But who's going to be the person in the family to say, but when you getting all this stuff, but it's kidnapping your kids, where your kids, even though they living in this nice apartment and they got a PS5 and dual monitors and Jordans and iPhones, but the environment that they are in is making them still steal and carry guns at 16 and they going to jail? And now you're in jeopardy of losing this same place? Who's going to step up and say, you don't do that? Put your hand back on your kid. Change the environment. You can get a house. You already got the credit score. You could do it. You work. You could get a Habitat for Humanity house. You could go buy you a house with a USDA loan. You could get a house through public housing. You can go ahead and not pay rent for 5 years, stack your money and get up out of there so it won't kidnap the next kid if you don't want to save this one. Because if not, it's going to keep kidnapping people. Our family still live over there. Murley House is literally Auntie Clyde. My cousin left a comment on TikTok. She said, I'm tired of her saying it was Murley House. It ain't Murrah House. Well, it's your mama house, Auntie Clyde House. Auntie Clyde House is still right next to them same projects. My cousin's still selling dope out the backyard. My Auntie Clyde had the roaches crawling on her body in that same house and nobody said a thing. I was the one that bought the bombs. Who's going to step up and be the person to say this ain't right? And then people want to say, oh, I wouldn't take nothing from Peaches. She going to throw it up in your face. And this, no, I'm not throwing it up in your face that I did it. I'm throwing up in your face that I did what was right. And when I'm wrong, I'll even admit I was wrong. I'm being dead serious. Y'all think I'm being funny. I am being dead serious. Y'all understand this, right? It's not right. If I was a Christian that go to church, I don't go to church. I hope y'all know that. I won't step foot in a church. But if I was a Christian that go to church and I teach little kids about God and I teach Sunday school and I'm leading them into the Lord, I'm going to lead them into the land of righteousness, right? We're going to do what's right. We're going to do what's right. We're not going to turn our eye to people being molested. We're not going to turn our eye to people selling dope out of other people's houses. We're not going to turn our eye to roaches crawling on people's body who can't walk. They're handicapped. They can't get up. They can't feed themselves. They can't change themselves. We're not going to turn our eye to that because that's not right. I have a question. I believe in God, guys. I don't fuck with the church. People go to church and they hide behind God. I'm going to tell you what my auntie told me years ago, and her dad told her this as a child, and I believe it wholeheartedly. My auntie said the church is full of hoes, pimps, drug dealers, and crackheads. And it is. The sick go to church to get help, but instead of getting help because the church don't want you to speak of your dirtiness, they just get shut up and they pray that the word will carry them to the next week. They don't deal with none of the trauma they causing at home. They don't deal with their kids and the drama. They don't deal with it. They just go in there and mask. They hide behind the Lord and they go out into the world and they accept evil things. They let evil things be done to them and they don't speak of it. They just like, oh, God gonna get them. God gonna hump them. When the whole time, faith without works is dead. Even when it comes to stuff like that, faith without works is dead. You got to actually get up in there, get to the root. You actually got to speak about it. I hate that video. If y'all watch on Facebook, y'all might have seen the video and y'all laugh, but that video pissed me off when that lady said, I was out here. I was, I think she said I was sucking penises, whatever she said when she gave her testimony and they snatched the mic from her. Why wouldn't you let this lady testify about her dirtiness, about how wrong she was living, and how God came in and he redeemed her. He cleaned her up and made her new. Instead, you snatched the mic. How dare you talk about your shame in the Lord's house? I thought this is where the sick go to get help. It's children in there. It's children going through the same thing. Mary J. Blige was raped in church. Or was that the girl off SWV? It was one of them. I watched their little documentary, like their little thing where they talked about it was either Mary J. Blige or it was, no, Mary J. Blige was at a family house, I think, at a party. It was Coco off SWV. She was raped in church. It happens every day. The sick go to church. Y'all do understand that. Did y'all see the lady on TikTok whose son was going to a church daycare and he got molested at daycare? She made a whole TikTok video. It's a black woman. I don't know if y'all seen that video. It went viral. At church, a little baby, a little black baby, a black little boy